Hey everyone, I hope you guys are having a great day. Welcome back to another Web Dev Junkie video. So in this one, I am going to basically be adding on to a application that I started to build out with my Discord community. So if that's something you're interested in helping out with, be sure to join my Discord and ask how you can help out. There's also a GitHub repo with some issues that you're welcome to leave a comment if you wanted to actually contribute. But anyway, I'm going to try to build out the channels page. So there is a channels view issue that I created. And that is basically creating out this page, okay? So hopefully I can do that in this video. Should be hopefully straightforward. It doesn't have to be perfect. But let's just try to build it out together and hopefully you can learn a little bit about what we're using. So our tech stack we are using is Next.js. So that is a great tool you can use to build Jamstack applications or server-side rendered applications. And we are going to be trying to build out this. Let's just go ahead and try that out. So we have the app running right here on localhost 3000. And you notice here, it looks really basic. So the idea is, first of all, we need to add a new route so people can actually view a YouTuber by their channel ID. So in this case, I could say like channels and put an ID here, and then that would show the channel and all the videos. So that is the first thing we need to do. Let's just go ahead and add a channels page. So inside of our Next.js application, notice here we have a pages directory. And what you can do is you can add another directory called channels. And inside of that channels folder, I could simply say ID, I believe. So I think this will give us the ability to grab the ID. I might have to do some Googling. Let me just go ahead and copy out this existing JSX. And let me just get rid of all that stuff. Oops, I deleted too much. Let me go ahead and, okay, let's do that. I'm just going to put hello here, and then I'm also going to say channel view. I'll just call it channel page, I guess. So inside of this, we are going to, first of all, we need to make sure we import that channels JSON. But secondly, why is this grayed out? Oh, it's never used. So we want to see if we can actually hit this page. So I think if we go back to our next app and we say channel/ABC, that should hopefully give back hello, which it did. So now what we need to do is we basically need to get that ID that was in the parameters and use it to fetch data from channels. So if you aren't familiar, there is a JSON object called channels, which has a list of all the different YouTube channels based on their either username or ID. I think it's based on their ID. So what we basically need to do is take the path parameter and find the channel that's in this JSON object. Probably inefficient, but it's good enough for now. So let's load up the Next.js docs and try to refresh our memory as to how to do this. So we want to do some data fetching. And I think we want to use get static props. All right, so let's do get static props because we have static data that's already in a JSON file that we just need to render out. And I think in here, we could probably put a channel here and just put like, I don't know, put name is hello world, and we can render that out. So instead I could get the channel here and I could say render out channel.name. And now I think that should render out hello world. Did not, it crashed. So this is missing, oh, I think I also need like static paths or something. Get static props. All right, get static path is also something I think we need. So let's just go ahead and export that one as well. And what does fallback do again? What does say fallback for false right now? I think that's if you like want to dynamically generate data if an ID hasn't existed. All right, so how does this one work? See the path section below path. So this is an array. If you want to use this method, get static props, you need to return an object that has an array of paths, okay? And each path is going to have a params of the IDs. So here, what we could basically do is I think we can say channels, and then we can get the channel ID here. You know what? Actually, I can say object.keys. Get all the keys of the channels, and then do a map. And then we could basically just return params ID channel, maybe. Let's see if that works. I deleted too much. All right, let's delete that. I think this should hopefully work. Go back and see. So I think we actually need to find a real channel. So I think it might be working, but it's just failing because we don't have a real channel. So let's try to do like Caleb the Video Maker 2 and put that up there. So that's working. That's loading up Hello World. And now I think what we need to do is somehow get the path parameters here so that we can access it. How do you do that? Params, get static props. So I think this context would have a params on it. We could probably console log a params.id here. Let me load up my terminal real quick. Save that, and now if I hit my page, that should hopefully print out the ID. So it'll print out Caleb the Video Maker. And now what we basically do is render out that here to make sure this works. So refresh that, and it did not work because I need to actually print out the ID here. I'm gonna say const ID is params ID, and I'll just print out the channel name real quick. There we go. All right, so what we actually need to do is in our JSX component, we want to pass in the full channel object. So what we could probably do is channel could be an array of videos. So I'm actually going to say, you know what? Let's see what I'm going to do. Yeah, for right now, it's just going to be an array of videos. So we can basically look up the channel using the ID. So if I go to channels, for channel, I can say channels of ID. And then I should have access to that array of channel videos that we talked about. And then we could basically start doing stuff like rendering out what all these are. So for example, I could print out the author here. I could do like channel of the first video's author, and hopefully that'll print out. It's not defined. Let's try printing this out real quick. All right, so that definitely prints out some stuff, but the question is why is that not printing out author? Oh, it did. So I printed out Caleb Curry up here. So this is working. I think I just had to like refresh the page or something. So let's try to build out the right side first. I think that'd be easier. So what we need to do is basically just render out all the images, maybe their name with a link and their banner. So let's start with the banner. Actually, let me pass another prop called channel info, and that's going to be equal to just some of these hard-coded things right now. All right, so channel ID, cool. Yeah, so channel info could really just be like the first video, probably. This is kind of hacky. We can kind of fix this up in a second. So channel info and videos. Sorry, I'm jumping. This is a live coding session, so I'm jumping all over the place, and it's probably hard to follow, but oh well. Let me rename some of this stuff. So channel first video is equal to that. So channel info is going to be the first video, and videos is going to be called channels. Kind of confusing. I really need to restructure this JSON data to make it more like proper, but we are going to roll with it for right now. All right, so now in our JSX, we should have access to videos and channel info. And instead of doing this hard-coded 0, we can say channel info. My goodness, delete that. And that could be a link that's going to link to the author URL. So here I'm going to say href is equal to channel info author URL. So that'll link the author's name to that URL. And then target is blank. So that opens up in a new tab. And let's see if this works. All right, so now if I click on it, it freezes my Chrome. Oh, there we go. Awesome. So that is a nice step in the right direction for this design that we're shooting for. Second thing we want to do is render out the banner. So let's get that banner going up here. We probably need to put this in a fragment. And we could just save that and then put this in an image. We need a banner, so we could say source is equal to channel info. I think it's called author banners. That could probably be renamed as well. Oh, hey Caleb. All right, so we got that showing up. Let's add this in a div called like last name of channel page instead of a fragment, and we can style that. So in this case, I could say class name of channel page underscore banner. I'm gonna do camel case for that. I'm trying to do BIM. I don't like the CSS or yeah, CSS and JS for some reason, but that's just me. We could do style components, or there's another one called like CSS and JSX that I kind of like. I want to look into, but it's fine to just make a new CSS file called channel page. You can also do CSS modules if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and style the banner and say width is 100% so that it doesn't like go off the page like it just did. And I don't know if like live reloading works for this stuff. For some reason I have to like refresh the page. Okay, that's not working for some reason. Oh, probably because in the globals I need to import it. So, by the way, if this is cringing because you don't like external style sheets, like let me know. There's like 1,000 different ways you can do styling in React for some reason, but I like to keep my CSS inside CSS files. I don't like to add CSS to my JS files. I think Vue does it right. Vue I really like. Svelte I really like how they have scoped style stuff. So I can see like style in Vue and Svelte where I can type in my styles here and it's going to be scoped to my component. But I haven't found a good solution in React other than there's like something called CSS and JSX where you can actually like add a style tag here inside of your JSX component. And then you can do your styling that's going to scope to your component here. But then I have to mess with Babel to get that set up. It's just a mess. I just hate styling in React. I'll be honest with you all. Styling in React, they just can't figure out a good way to do it. That's why they keep creating like 80 different libraries to do the same thing. So I'm just going to do what will work for other libraries as well and just stick to external style sheets. All right, so at this point we have a banner. It is the full width of the parent container. And then we have a link here. Let's try to style that link. I'm going to go here and call like channel page user title, maybe. Font size and 32 pixels. We can go back to our page and add a class name there. And make that a little bit bigger. All right, so going back to the Figma, we want to loop over all the videos and display them. So what we could do is basically inside of here, we can make a container called like videos. And then we could do a map probably. All right, so for here, what we can do is basically map over the videos. I'm gonna say videos.map. That's gonna be a function that returns some JSX. I could do like video. Oops. All right, so for every video, I think if we look at our JSON here, we have the video ID, we have a thumbnail. Let's try to render out that thumbnail. So I'm gonna go here and we can do an image tag, render out video.thumbnail. See how that looks. Okay. I think we also have the title of the video, so I could say title, and I could put that directly underneath. Video title. Render that out, so video.title. And let's save that and see how that looks. Cool. Just adding some more BIM classes of these and renaming that. So now we can style these. So what I'm going to do is inside the videos container, I'm going to basically set that to a CSS grid, I think. So display is grid, and then I can say like grid template, I believe. And then I can say repeat. I'll do 3 columns, min, max, 0, and 1 FR. And I think that should make 3 columns. There we go. And then I think we could add a little bit of padding to the left of the video title. So let me just split this so we don't have to keep jumping around. The padding left is 20 pixels. Font size, do 24 pixels. See how that looks. And here the padding could be like 20 pixels total. Bring it in some. I'll add it to the whole channel page. How about that? I think it looks okay for right now. Yeah, so the idea is user title. Maybe we should add some margin bottom. Margin bottom, 20 pixels of that. Probably to the banner as well. I don't know why that's not adding margin. Is that what I called it? User title is this. Margin bottom. Display a block, maybe? There we go. All right, so we just need to do this filter thing. My child's awake and is not happy to be on my back right now, so I'm gonna end this video, but hopefully you learned something. We learned how to make a new page. We learned how to do some static props. We learned how to do static paths using some predefined JSON object. And then we did some styling with some BIM and just kind of displayed a thumbnail and some banners, and we have a link that you can click on to open up a new tab. But I think this is good progress for the first part, or for my little story that I'm working on, which is the channel view. Stay tuned in the future for another video where I'm going to try to add in the filter probably, and whatever else needs to be added for this. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, give me a thumbs up because it helps my channel grow. Be sure to leave a comment if you have any suggestions of a better way I could develop or explain what I'm doing. I don't think I did the best job explaining in this video because I knew my kid was going to wake up soon, so I was kind of rushing. But like always, if you're new to the channel, give me a subscribe, hit that subscribe button, click that bell icon, because I'm going to have other videos like this in the future, which can help you become a better web developer, learn React, learn JavaScript, learn HTML, you name it. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. Have a good day.